time to put it together. Welcome back to the shop and the channel, and time to get this thing wrapped up and out of the shop over to Dan's house. So for starters, let's mill out some lumber, break down and mill out some lumber. There will be time lapse involved and t-shirt changes because it's going to happen over several days. So let's get busy. What you saw there was kind of obvious. I bought and cut out the treads and then round over the top edges that are going to be facing up to your feet, so they're nice and smooth and not going to hurt, kind of like that. I know I did that when I was milling them on the router table, but that's a better picture of it. Now when these go down onto the bridge, on top of them going this way will be this batten. This is that batten I mentioned where the LED tube is going to be up against. And then on top of this will be a piece of metal that will cover this and the LED tube. He chose metal, okay? I think it's going to be steel, actually. And then the treads, you also saw me pre-drilling the treads. And the reason for pre-drilling the treads is it takes a little load off the grain, and over the years it shouldn't split open on the end. We'll see. So I've got 2 holes drilled at either end. I got to cut the length and round over. I have marked the bridge center line here. I marked a center line on the initial piece of tread, and I will line those up on one side like this, line them on the other side, and clamp it down and screw it in place. And then I have another batten over here on the workbench out of camera shot, another little batten thing that's going to go between them to set the spacing, and so I can work all the way down and then work all the way down that way and then fasten the top battens. This can be like watching paint dry. So I'm going to do a few of these, do a little time lapse, and then we'll come back when it's pretty much put together. One of the things is there can be a mismatch in the width here and a little bit on these, just a little bit. So I'm going to line these all up on one side. And then I'm going to take a router with a patterning bit and go on the other side and just clean up the ends of these, the treads. Now, to be honest, I would not have used 2x4s for the treads. I would use regular deck boards. If they were too wide, they could be ripped down in the middle and you get 2 out of each, just round over one edge. But Dan said just duplicate what I've got. So what he has 2x4 treads. So let's get busy and put at least one of these on, a couple of these on, so you can see the process. I'm still using the Deckmates coated screws. These are a T25 Torx, no star top thing, and I got a nice long handle, which I don't really need for this job. So I've got this one pretty much flush here, and I used using my trusty impact driver. And just driving just below the surface. So there's that. Now, if you probably guessed, because of the size of this and everything else, I've kind of run out of space in the shop. So I'm kind of squeezing around things to get to where I need to go to do stuff, which can be challenging at times. When anybody tells you they need more shop space, believe them. I do. Okay, 1 down, 22 to go, because there's 23 of these treads on this bridge. So I'm going to go over here. I'll be doing this all day, going around and around and around, trying to get around this thing because it's running out of shop space. Take the next one, put my spacer batten in here, bring this up close to the edge. And this way I've got even spacing all the way around. That's kind of a foregone. And it's, of course, now I leave tools all over the place. I got to go around again to get the tool. Okay, so let's get this side while I'm over here. I should bring another box of these screws out, put one on either side so that I can do this. Ugh, this is tight. I think I can just hold it up with my hand now and not use the clamp. Yeah, that'll work. There we go. Okay. Let me get the rest of these put in place, and then we'll go and put this 1/2-inch batten on either side. So you don't need to watch this. Like I said, it's kind of like watching paint dry. All the treads in place. This thing weighs a lot. It's going to like 3 or 4 of us to get it out of here into Phil's truck. Now, for the battens, this should make more sense now. The batten goes along the edge here. It's 1/2-inch high, and what rides up against this batten is a tube of LED lights. On top of this will be a piece of flat steel, Phil-picked steel, that'll be about 1.5 to 2 inches wide. Roller, slip rolled so it fits this curvature, covering all of that, and then be fastened through to the treads. Now, there's a couple of ways I could have done this. First of all, this is 8 feet wide, but this curvature is not 8 feet. This curvature is about 8 feet 3 inches. And I could have done this one of several ways. I could have just put a single batten and a little short piece down there, or I could have done a batten to the middle and another batten to that edge. What I've decided to do is complicate things even more. I'm doing a single batten in the center, and then once this is fastened down, I have another batten that goes on either end, leaving a joint here and here. Not really relevant because, as I said, this is going to be covered with a piece of steel fastened down through everything, so everything will be held in place. So what I need to do is, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The middle of the 6th one is where I start. And I'll do the center fastener here a little bit later. So what you do, it's like doing anything with a curvature, is you start at one end and you work your way down to the other end so you don't break it. Or you start in the middle and work your way out either way. It's like doing, any kind of a springing of a piece of wood onto another piece of wood. It's got to come this way a little bit. So there it is, like so. And what I do now is it's going to be one maybe every other till I get to the end. And then it leaves another one between these two. It leaves one in between those two where Phil can put his screws in down through his steel, the batten, and into the tread. So I'm going to start fastening this down. I've got one drill has the countersunk, and it's in the center of the runners because the runners have 2 screws that are on towards the sides, and in the middle you can drill straight through. That's nice and tight and snug. And actually, I'm going to go to the next one is going to be the fourth one from there. So it's 4, 4, 4. Yeah, that'll work fine for the layout. Close enough anyway. It's close enough. Again, I'm using deck screws. This is a different type of deck screw. Not to go too tight. Now I want to go over to this one here. So unspring that, spring down here. And drill and mount there. That's coming along very nicely. All right, again, like watching paint dry. So I'm going to finish putting all these battens on, and then we'll come back and look at it. And that should be the end of this video with some explanation. So now it makes a little bit of sense. You can see this is the battens, and this is the shelf where the LED tubes will sit under. So it lights up the walkway. And then the steel plates will go on top of this, rolled to fit this curve. And I've set it up so that there are drill holes, places where he can drill holes to mount those rolled steel plates that are going to go on top. So I hope he powder coats them. Well, we'll see. And there we go, another one in the books. So again, we're going to end this video here because we're essentially done. Now here's what I was talking about earlier. I cannot start another project until this has been delivered to Dan's house. I don't know when that's going to happen. So if this is still in here, when it's time for me to shoot another video, maybe we'll do some tool stories or something to that effect. Anyhow, so until next time, as I like to say, please make great things out of wood.